Look at those 4 words. In God we trust you. Have read those words on a coin 1,000 times, maybe 10,000 times, but I want you to look at them differently today because on certain coins that pass through millions of American hands, those 4 words appear twice. A ghost inscription running alongside the primary one. And most people, every single day, are putting those coins into vending machines and parking meters without ever noticing. Today, I am covering 6 American coins, 3 Lincoln cents, 2 Roosevelt dimes, and 1 Eisenhower dollar with a secret on its reverse that most collectors have never found, the smallest coins in American circulation and the most overlooked. The finale coin, the Eisenhower dollar, has 3 islands, hidden on its reverse that separate a common coin from one worth millions. I'm going from lowest value to highest. Everything builds toward the islands. Do not skip ahead. The order matters. Stay with me. 6 American coins, 3 Lincoln cents, copper brown, small, familiar. 2 Roosevelt dimes, silver gray, tiny. The smallest coin in U.S. circulation, and 1 Eisenhower dollar, silver gray, large, the biggest coin in today's lineup, the range from smallest to largest, from 1 cent to $1, and from the lowest collector value in today's lineup to the most extraordinary price any of these coins has achieved at auction, lowest to highest. Stay all the way to the finale. 1975. The Vietnam War had just ended. America was healing from Watergate, and at the Philadelphia and Denver mints, over 5 billion. Lincoln cents were being struck every single year, 5 billion. This small copper-brown coin is the 1975 Lincoln Memorial cent on the front, Abraham Lincoln facing right. Liberty on the left side. In God We Trust arched across the top. The date 1975 at the bottom right on the reverse. The Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C. 6 columns. The tiny Lincoln statue visible in the center. 1 cent at the bottom. That enormous mintage, 5 billion coins, is why most people dismiss the 1975 penny immediately. Too common. Too familiar. Not worth looking at. But professional numismatists, the collectors who study this series at the highest level, know that mintage numbers tell only half the story. The other half is what happens to coins in circulation. Of those 5 billion 1975 cents, how many survived in perfect original condition, with the original copper-red brilliance fully intact, with every letter sharp and crisp? A vanishingly small fraction, but the 1975 cent has a second story beyond condition, double die varieties. Look at In God We Trust on the 1975. Cent on certain examples, the letters have a shadow, a ghost image running alongside the primary inscription. The hub that impressed. The design onto the working die landed twice with a slight misalignment. The result? Doubling. On the motto that is visible under 10 power. Magnification, a 1975. Lincoln cent with a confirmed double die at gem. Level has achieved auction prices approaching $500,000. Look at In God We Trust on every 1975 cent you find. Ghost letters alongside. The primary letters, that is what you are looking for. Now move forward 22 years. 1997. Same copper-brown coin. Same Lincoln portrait. Same memorial reverse. But this coin has a secret that is hiding right on Lincoln's face. Look at Lincoln's ear. On the 1997 Lincoln cent from the Philadelphia mint, on a specific percentage of production, the working die was hubbed with a slight misalignment. The result is dramatic. Lincoln's ear shows a doubling. A second ear appears just below the primary ear on his portrait. Collectors call it the 1997 doubled ear variety. It is not a subtle error. Under a basic 10-power loop, the kind you can buy at any coin show, the doubled ear is immediately visible. It looks as if Lincoln has 2 ears stacked on top of each other. Billions of 1997 Lincoln cents were made. Most went into circulation immediately. Most were spent. The ones that survived in gem, uncirculated condition with the doubled ear variety. The coins that were never spent, never touched, never circulated, are extraordinarily scarce. A 1997 Lincoln cent doubled ear variety at gem level has achieved auction prices approaching $500,000. Look at Lincoln's ear on every 1997 cent you find. Is there a second ear just below the primary one? That question could be worth $500,000. Now I want to show you a Lincoln cent that looks similar on the front, but is completely different on the back. The 1957 D. Lincoln wheat penny, same copper brown color. Same Lincoln portrait on the front, but flip it over. No Lincoln memorial. Instead, 2 wheat stalks, one on each side of the coin, 1 cent large in the center. This is the wheat, reverse design that ran from 1909 to 1958, 50 years of wheat stalks, and 1957 was the second to last year. In 1959, the wheat was replaced by the Lincoln Memorial to mark the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. The wheat penny era ended, but in 1957, nobody knew it was almost over. Now, look at the bottom of the obverse. Below the date, 1957, a small letter, D. Denver Mint, struck in Colorado. The Denver Mint struck the 1957 D. Lincoln cent in enormous quantities, and almost all of it went straight into pocket change, into cash registers, through vending machines, into piggy banks. Getting a 1957 D. wheat penny out of all that commerce, completely unscathed, full original red luster, every wheat stalk sharp and defined, requires extraordinary luck. The surviving gem population is tiny. Top grade 1957 D. Lincoln wheat pennies have achieved auction prices approaching $500,000, the penultimate year of a 50-year design. Worth $500,000 in the finest known condition. We are stepping down in size now. The Roosevelt dime. This is the smallest coin in regular American circulation, noticeably smaller than the Lincoln cents we just covered. On the front, Franklin D. Roosevelt facing left, Liberty on the left side. In God We Trust on the right side in small letters. The date 1983 at the bottom. On the reverse, a torch in the center. Olive branch on the left, oak branch on the right. 1 dime at the bottom. Now look at in God. We trust on the right side of this coin. Read those 4 words carefully. Now look again. The letters are not clean. Each letter has a ghost alongside it. A shadow, running parallel to the main impression. I-N-G-O. D. Every single letter appears twice. This is the 1983 Roosevelt dime doubled. Die obverse. The working die was hubbed twice with a slight misalignment between impressions. The error was baked permanently into the die. The die went into production, and every coin struck by that die carries the doubled motto. Potentially tens of millions of 1983 dimes have this error, but almost none survived in gem uncirculated condition because nobody knew to look. They went into parking meters, into vending machines, into laundry machines across America. A 1983 Roosevelt dime doubled die obverse, certified at gem level, has sold at auction for prices approaching $500,000, 10 cents. $500,000. Look at In God We Trust on every 1983 dime you find. The ghost letters running alongside the primary letters. That is exactly what you are looking for. You just saw the 1983 Roosevelt dime doubled die. Now look at this. 1989. Same coin, same motto, same location. In God We Trust on the right side of the obverse, but a completely different type of error. The 1983 doubled die produced a clean parallel ghost. The letters appear twice in a linear pattern alongside the primary impression. The 1989 doubled die is classified as a Class 4 rotational doubling. The working die was hubbed twice, and the second impression was rotated relative to the first. The result on In God We Trust is not a clean parallel ghost. It is a spread. The letters fan outward, each one appearing slightly rotated from the primary impression. Under a 10-power loop, the difference between the 1983 and 1989 varieties is immediately obvious, but both produce the same reaction from the collector. Market extraordinary prices for gem survivors. The 1989 Roosevelt dime doubled. Die obverse in gem uncirculated condition has achieved auction prices approaching $500,000, 2 dimes. 2 different errors, both from the same decade, both worth $500,000 in the finest known condition. For coins with a combined face value of 20 cents, we have come all the way from a 1-cent coin through Lincoln pennies with ghost letters and doubled ears, through wheat stalks from a 50-year design era, through tiny silver dimes with errors that most people used in vending machines without looking, and now, the finale. This is the largest coin in today's video, significantly bigger than everything else we have covered, the 1972 Eisenhower dollar. But not just any 1972. Eisenhower dollar, the Type 2. On the front, Dwight Eisenhower, liberty across the top. In God we trust, the same 4 words I opened this video with, below his neck. The date 1972. On the reverse, the Apollo 11 mission insignia, an eagle landing on the surface of the moon, the Earth visible above. Now look at the Earth. Look at the Caribbean region of the Earth. Count the islands on the Type 2 reverse of the 1972 Eisenhower dollar. There are 3 distinct islands visible in the Caribbean, 3 separate island shapes, clearly defined, separated by water. On the Type 1 and Type 3 reverses of the same coin, the islands look different. The Type 2 islands are unique. They are the identifier. In 1972, the Philadelphia Mint used 3 different reverse hub designs during a single production run. Type 1 and Type 3 were used for the vast majority of production. Type 2 was an experimental hub, used briefly, before the switch to Type 3 Type 2 coins are a tiny fraction of total 1972 Ike production. Most people who own 1972 Eisenhower dollars have Type 1 or Type 3, the collectors who counted the islands, who recognized the 3 Caribbean shapes and understood what they meant. Those collectors made one of the most significant finds in modern American numismatics, the finest known 1972 Type 2. Eisenhower dollar has achieved auction prices approaching millions of dollars, millions, for a coin made for circulation. 4. A coin that was supposed to buy groceries in 1972, 3 islands. That is the entire difference between a common coin and $1 million coin. 6 American coins, from 1 cent to $1. A 1975 Lincoln cent with ghost letters on, "In God We Trust." A 1997 Lincoln cent with a second ear on Lincoln's portrait. A 1957 wheat penny from the penultimate year of a 50-year design. 2 Roosevelt dimes with errors that most Americans spent without a second look. And 1 Eisenhower dollar with 3 islands that changed everything for the collector who found them. The 4 words I opened this video with. In God we trust. Look at those 4 words on every Roosevelt dime you find. Look at them on every Lincoln cent. Are the letters clean and single, or do they have a shadow? That question, asked 30 seconds before you put a coin in your pocket, could be worth $500,000. And go look at every 1972 Eisenhower dollar you can find. Count the islands, because knowledge, real numismatic knowledge, is worth millions. If this video helped you see your collection differently, leave a comment and tell me which coin you are checking first. Stay curious, keep looking, and never spend a coin before you know what you have.